the rise and fall of the British Empire. Hello, and welcome to Plain Tick. In today's video, we're embarking on a journey through time to uncover the story of one of the most influential empires in modern history, the British Empire. From its modest beginnings in the 16th century to its zenith in the early 20th century, the British Empire left an indelible mark on the world. So, join us as we delve into the rise and fall of this remarkable global power. The origins. To understand the British Empire, we need to travel back to the 16th century when England first dipped its toes into the world of overseas expansion. It all began with maritime exploration, driven by a thirst for trade and a rivalry with France. By the 17th century, British settlements had sprung up in various corners of the globe, from the shores of North America to the islands of the West Indies, and even as far as the Indian subcontinent. But here's the fascinating part: these early settlements weren't the brainchild of the English crown. Instead, they were largely the work of adventurous companies and individuals who saw untapped potential in distant lands. As the empire expanded, the British government started to take a more active role in managing its colonies. During the 17th and 18th centuries, the primary focus was on trade and shipping. The colonies were viewed as a wellspring of raw materials for England, and they were granted monopolies on lucrative products like tobacco and sugar. However, this came with a catch. The colonies had to play by Britain's rules, which meant they could only trade using English ships. It was a bit like having an overprotective parent who insisted on making all the decisions for you. Clash of empires. The path to imperial greatness was not without obstacles. The British found themselves locked in a fierce rivalry with the French, particularly in North America and India. It was a battle of wits and weapons, with both empires vying for supremacy. The 7 Years' War in the mid-18th century proved to be a decisive turning point. When the smoke cleared, Britain emerged as the dominant force in both Canada and India. It was a testament to the strength and tenacity of the British military machine. Just when it seemed like the British Empire was an unstoppable juggernaut, it suffered a significant setback: the American Revolution. Losing the 13 American colonies was a bitter pill to swallow, but the British refused to let this defeat define them. They turned their attention to new frontiers, such as Australia and parts of Canada. Meanwhile, they continued to expand their grip on India, gobbling up more and more territory. It was like a high-stakes game of global domination, and the British were determined to come out on top. The sun never sets. By the time the 19th century rolled around, the British Empire had reached the pinnacle of its power. Its influence stretched across every continent, from the Caribbean islands to the Far East. The opening of the Suez Canal in 1869 was a game-changer, providing the British with a direct route to their most prized possession, India. It was often said that the sun never set on the British Empire, and for good reason. The sheer scale of the territory and population under British control was staggering. As the empire basked in its glory, some colonies were granted a measure of self-governance. Countries like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand became known as dominions, with their own parliaments and prime ministers. However, not all colonies were treated equally. Many, especially those in Africa and Asia, remained firmly under the thumb of British rule. It was a system that favored some while neglecting others, creating a complex web of power dynamics within the empire. The winds of change. The 20th century brought a series of challenges that would test the resilience of the British Empire. 2 devastating world wars took a heavy toll on Britain's resources and resolve. Moreover, the rise of nationalism in the colonies fueled a growing desire for independence. India, the crown jewel of the empire, was the first to break free in 1947. Like a chain reaction, other colonies followed suit, with places like Ghana and Malaysia waving goodbye to British rule. It was a time of upheaval and transformation, as the once mighty empire began to crumble. As the empire fell apart, the British sought to maintain a connection with their former colonies through the creation of the Commonwealth of Nations. This voluntary association allowed countries to maintain ties to the British Crown, even if they were no longer under direct British control. Today, the Commonwealth boasts 54 member states, spanning from tiny island nations to regional powerhouses like India and Nigeria. It's a testament to the enduring legacy of the British Empire and the bonds forged through shared history and culture. The legacy. The impact of the British Empire can still be felt in countless ways. The English language, for example, has become a global lingua franca, facilitating communication and commerce across borders. Legal systems in many former colonies bear the imprint of British common law, shaping the way justice is administered. And let's not forget the beloved sport of cricket, which has become a passion in countries like India, Pakistan, and the West Indies, all thanks to the influence of the British Empire. But the legacy of the empire is not without controversy. The history of colonialism is marred by exploitation, oppression, and cultural erasure. The scars of this troubled past continue to shape the political and social landscapes of former colonies. As we reflect on the rise and fall of the British Empire, it's crucial to acknowledge both the triumphs and the tragedies, the progress and the pain. The story of the British Empire is an epic tale of ambition, conquest, and ultimately, decline. It's a reminder that even the mightiest empires are subject to the inexorable march of history. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the rise and fall of the British Empire. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Plain Tick for more captivating explorations of our planet's rich history.